Jace here. Um, Got another episode of 7 Days to Die. It is Horde night, so we are going to move quickly. Hopefully I have what I need to start my Horde base, and I'll kind of go over what we've got going on today. But it's already 1:30, so we have got to move kind of quickly, make sure we get this done. I didn't give myself much time to work with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split up my standard building blocks. The reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to make one. Go up here to favorites. Yeah. What I'm looking for is the ramp block. I'm going to want some of those and some standard blocks. Easy enough. Let's go this way. So we're going to set ramp block down. Standard block. Ramp block. Standard block. Just like that. Over and over and over. To the height that we're looking for. You don't want to go crazy high just because, well, there's nothing bad about going crazy high, but since I'm low on time, I've got to upgrade all these. So for this first one, I'm going to keep it relatively low. You just want to make sure you got it high enough that once you're standing up in your little fighting area, it's hard for the cops and the spitters from down here to see you and spit up at you. That's all you're really going for here. Is get it high enough where when you're standing, and you'll see it later, when you're standing up here, you're going to be hard to spot. I don't know if I need to go any higher than that, honestly. We are very low on time. I think that's okay, honestly. So we'll do one more ramp here. My gosh, it's already 2:30. I don't know if we're going to have time to do this, guys. Let's hope for the best. Honestly, I'll probably go down one. I don't think I need all that. Let's see if I can reach it from the ground. I can still reach it from the ground. This is okay. Alright, so that's all the ramp blocks I needed. So now we're going to change this. I'm going to go over to construction. Security gate centered. It's just the one I choose. Bear with me, guys. The system's lagging out here. Any narrow block here that you can walk on will work. It doesn't really matter. I just like the security gates. They're easy to spot, so they're easy to repair, but up here they're still very narrow, so that's why I go with those. Now I'm gonna set these out just so I can tell where the center of my build space needs to be. And we want to go, you want this walkway to be as long as possible. Of course it's going to get cloudy and rain on me. It's just great. I think I'll start it right about here. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, this build's going to be a quick one anyway because I'm probably going to be moving relatively soon. So, but this will be a good one for us to get, if I can get it done in time, for us to get started on. I think. Guys, bear with me. My system might be having some issues. I'm trying to do it at 4K, or run it at 4K so I can upload it at 4K, but I don't have a mega system, so we'll see if it's actually strong enough to do it. I built some standard wooden blocks here just for the sake of time. I'm gonna so I can get these filled in real quick and move on. I'm not gonna upgrade this fill in with to cobble. I shouldn't need to. This hopefully, you know, I don't know how crazy the hordes are on this full release version, but hopefully that'll give me the stability I need to survive this first Horde night. I honestly don't know what this Horde night's going to look like. I do have it set up to 16 zombies, but I don't know if it's going to get crazy or if it's going to be manageable. But we'll find out. That'll be enough to let you guys see it too. Remember, I've got the difficulty increased to Nomad, I believe, which is just one above your standard default. Like I said, I'm doing these as building blocks, which, had I realized I was going to paint myself into a corner and not give myself enough time to get this done, I might have started with wood, but that's all the wood. It's okay to let it work out. I usually line it out or lay it out with building blocks for two reasons. Number one, if you screw up, you can just pick it back up and go. Number two, when you're first getting started, let's see if this will survive it. Nope, it will not. See, when it gets red like that, that means it's going to fall, which just means I need to connect it here. Now I'm good. You do have physics mechanics, so you've got to make sure you've got the support needed. Alright, now let's hope and pray I have time to get all this upgraded, hopefully to cobble, before people start coming to kill me. But the other reason I do it this way is, as you can see, when you're first getting started, you get really good XP for upgrading blocks. So if possible, it's better to go ahead and start it out as the standard building block and then upgrade it just to maximize the XP you get for your whatever you're building. Like I said, you know, if you're in a... I wish I'd gotten a hammer somewhere along the road. If you're in a hurry, like I am now, you can just build or craft yeah, I'm good. Well, maybe I'm running out of wood. Cobblestone blocks and just set them down. You know, the only real drawback there is you don't get XP for the work, and if you screw up, you gotta dig out the block. This is going to be a little bit boring, guys, and I do apologize, but I want you guys to see this process. This will be the last time we do this as part of the recording, But even whenever I move, my next horde base will have, you know, more bells and whistles, but it's going to be very similar to this. This is just I think personally, the absolute best horde base for new players as from a survivability aspect. It also requires the least amount of ammunition. Like you can, until you know you're quite a few horde nights in, you can focus primarily on melee, and you don't get over. It's really hard to get overwhelmed with this base. Am I gonna have enough wood? There you go. Glad I got that level because I was saving those. Just gonna show you guys what I'm gonna do. Since I'm doing the strength build and I'm doing the boomstick, I'm gonna put 2 in the shotgun. Might do 3. Just because it gives me a faster reload time on that crap pipe shotgun. And I might need, I think I'll do 1 to speed on my swings. But 15% faster loading on that pipe shotgun could be a lifesaver tonight. I can already tell I am not going to have enough time to finish building my fight area and upgrade all this to cobble. So we might be, you know, a little trouble here, but we'll upgrade the parts that we absolutely, you know, need to, and hopefully the hordes on the full release version are insane. If I'd have had a hammer or a nail gun, which you're probably not going to have a nail gun for your first horde night. If I'd have had a hammer, we would have had no issues getting all this upgraded in time and being good to go. Okay, so we got all this upgraded to wood now. We're going to upgrade our ramp to cobble. $6:30, guys. I was hoping to have more time to talk to y'all a little bit about what I did. You know, if you remember the last recording, we finished up. We finished that quest in the cemetery on night 6. what I do is I hung out in that cemetery overnight so I could go back to Trader's Inn. The traders now do open. I'm guessing it's probably just whenever you got daylight set, but so in this case at 4 a.m., which is handy. Now I'm going to do the second block up, because that's where, when the zombies are standing up, this is the block they'll usually hit. Like I said, I wanted to get all this upgraded, but because you really need at least the first 3 blocks. Boy, I don't know if my computer's going to hold up. We'll see if it gets super laggy once the zombies start showing up. I've never run this game at 4K, but I wanted to get the best content I could, so I figured it's worth a shot. But you really want to do at least all 3, that way if they're crawling, they're hitting on blocks, you're more protected, or if they're standing on top of each other and hitting blocks, you're more protected. But it is what it is. Anyway, so I went to Jen, turned in the quest, was really hoping for a bat or something. She had nothing. Then I went back to Rec, checked him out. He had nothing. Okay, so on this, we're not doing anything special. We're just gonna box ourselves in. This is a all or nothing. Normally I've got an escape route back here or something, you know, some sort of a contingency plan, but we don't have time for that. So we're just going to block ourselves in. Worst case, we'll try to make a mad dash through here, run away from them, or knock our way out and see if we can jump out of here and escape. I don't know if this might be high enough that I'll end up with a sprained leg, but probably not a break. We're coming right down to the wire, aren't we? This section all through here, because the zombies can't get to me, it can just be wood. Basically all of this is doing is just protecting me from the spitters, so wood should be sufficient. This section here will be upgrading to cobble, because this is where we're going to be knocking around. So anyway, went to Rex. He didn't have anything for me either, but I guess I had picked up enough books where I was able to craft the tier 1 bat. So I ran home, built a forge so I could get some forged iron, crafted up a bat, crafted up an iron hatch, and here we are. There's my iron hatch. So I'm going to set that guy down right there. I'm going to set this guy down right here. I'm going to upgrade all these to cobble. These, honestly, this is more peace of mind for me because of that rail. They're not going to hit these very often. This one is your main concern, and of course your hatch, but this is just peace of mind for me. I also want to go over here to my favorites. You want to find plate, select it. You're going to hold R again and hit advanced so that it goes everywhere. What I want to do is I want to put a plate right up there. The reason for that is when you got this up, if you knock the zombies down and they're prone, they can crawl through this gap here. But if you've got a plate here, they cannot. Sometimes you will get stuck coming in or out and you gotta crouch. This one's letting me go through, but sometimes you'll have to crouch to go through, but it's well worth it. Alright, so I'm going to grab a little bit of stuff I need for Horde night to stay protected. And then we'll upgrade until the zombies start showing up. Get us a good meal. I'm not going to bother with the recog just because I'm still low on water. Got a little bit more though. We also picked up some of that last night. Alright, I want my pistol. We're going to get rid of all the stuff we're not going to need. I shall keep those and save that. I don't have hardly any ammo for that machine gun, but you never know. Alright, so I've got first aid. I've got painkillers. I've got honey. I've got what ammo I have. I've got repair materials for my base. Forged iron I'll need for the hatch. And I think I'm going to grab those. I'll use those iron arrows if I have to. The bow ain't great on Horde night. I mean, when I'm done with my next iteration of the build, I'm going to have a little more time with them up here on the walkway, so bow could be an option, but the bow is so slow. Even the bow and the crossbow both are so slow to reload. Oh, I forgot about my roof. Dadgum. Oh my goodness, guys. Just gonna grab a couple of lanterns just so you guys can see what was going on. I wish I had a helmet light. I've got 3 here. Oh, we went right down to the wire, and it's definitely not as strong as I wanted it to be, but we'll see how it goes. So up here on the roof to start, until I have turrets, we're going to do bars. Same thing. Go advanced. Unveiled up. I want to get up on top. Ooh, what I got up there? This probably won't matter first Horde night, but that's the one I needed. There we go. This will work. I'm just going to connect it there and there just so it figures out what I'm trying to do. I want to go over the top here so that way this block isn't hanging down, if that makes sense, into the base so I can hang stuff. No, really? I didn't think that was a thing. If I wanted to hang stuff on these blocks, I could. Let's go ahead and do this because I don't want it to cave in on me in the middle of the night. But this is just protection from the birds. What I'll normally do once I've built a permanent Horde base, I'll just block this off, put turrets up here to deal with the birds. We ran right down to the wire, guys, but we have got it done. Got our base up. Let's see. Set the lantern down so you guys can see. We got our fancy new baseball bat. Let's hope they don't pop through here. I wish I had some coffee. And as you can see, with the beauty of this base, is it's really hard for them to gain that. As you go, every time you knock them down, or they run into each other, they get knocked down, they have to come back up the ramp and start all over again. You see they're running into each other, they get knocked down, they've got to go back up to the ramp, start over again. This is a very simple, very effective. Now there will be times I have encountered, you know, the AI changes for this game, and sometimes they do unexplainable things. Sometimes you'll look down, and even though you built this clear path for them, you'll look down and they'll be down here banging on your foundation. That's why it's a good idea to always have a weapon, a ranged weapon, and have those throwables. I should have looked. I think I had some pipe bombs. I should have grabbed those, but I was in too big a hurry. Something that you can quickly, you know, throw down here. Oh, too slow. As you can see, the bat was a massive upgrade from that stupid wooden club. That's why it was so important that I get something. Otherwise, they just would have had too much time to stand up here and beat on all this stuff while I was trying to kill them. We're doing okay so far. Looking alright. What you want to do is, when you find those little, if you have those little quiet times or little lulls in between waves, pull out your hammer and just right click, get everything good and repaired. You want to make sure to keep an eye on that. Especially, you know, it just depends on what type of base you build. If you got one where they're able to kind of pile up here, which a lot of people prefer that. They'll have them where they pile up here and they use throwables and stuff and kill, you know, a bunch of them at once. You just want to make sure you're keeping a close eye on your repairs. With this base, it's really difficult for more than one to be up here banging on this stuff at a time, so the repairs aren't as bad. This bat is an absolute game changer. Go ahead and eat. Give me a little regen buff here, hopefully. Be careful when you're doing this. I know it's, you know, it's tempting to stick with the power attacks, but if you've got a bunch of them coming at you, you know, you don't want to be stuck with no stamina. I've already leveled mine up, I think, to level 3. So stamina's not so bad. As you can see, you could hear a bunch of them. You gotta make sure you're being aware of that. Okay. None of them are coming up onto my ramp, but I still hear a lot of zombies around. That's when you want to take a look. Go ahead, repair kids. And just see if they're just destroying your foundation, but it didn't look like they were. I think they were just probably around the back trying to get to me. But just be sure to mix in regular attack and power attack. It just depends on how high tiered your knowledge is. I actually thought with switching to the bat and everything and still only being, you know, level 5 strength, level 3 on the clubs, I thought I've been able to mix in a lot more power attacks than I thought I'd be able to before I run out, so it hadn't been too bad. Check. Oh, they're not. Yeah, we're good. But the bat is an absolute beast compared to that stupid club. And then you get the steel club later, which is ultimately that much better than the bat. Like I said, you know, melee is very viable. Even late game, honestly, is very viable. The only time, you know, you end up with so many cops, demo zombies, things like that, that you don't want them to be all the way up here in front of you. So firearms become much more of a priority later. But on your regular rank and file zombies, even late game, even with ferals and stuff, it's still viable. But, you know, by day 40 or 50, you've got so much ammo and so many weapons, why the heck not use them? Plus, as we, like I said, we'll switch biomes, build this base again. You saw it wasn't resource heavy at all. And it took, you know, I start 1:30. You know, it took about 8 in-game hours. Not a ton of resources. You can build this base real quickly. The later iterations will have a few more things, but it's still going to be working off this same base design. But we'll be able to build some stuff up where we can we use electric traps and stuff to hold them there longer on the platform or on the walkway, so that we can pick them off with firearms and stuff. But it's very scalable, upgradable. I just absolutely love this base design. Still don't see anybody beating on my base. You will usually end up with one or two to spend most of the night banging on your foundation down here. That's why I really wanted to get it at least upgraded to cobble, but later on, even with higher tier zombies, if you've got it upgraded to cement and there's only one or two beating on it, you're going to be just fine. Unless it's a demo. And you do have to have contingency plans for demo zombies. But like I said, we'll as we continue to move on with the game, as we continue to progress, we'll kind of go into that. You'll definitely have a contingency plan on your base. We'll make it kind of interesting. I got some stuff in mind that I've never done before, but it should be fun and should keep us secure. I'm a little mad that I died that one time, and I don't want to die again. Alright, it's already 1:30, guys. I gotta admit, I thought it was gonna be a little tougher. Like I said, I only got it in Nomad, and I've only got it at 16 per wave, so basically, if you've got your stuff set to default, for this first fortnight, you can expect about half the zombies. And as you can see, it's, I mean, if you've... Come back, bro. If you've got yourself in a pretty good position where they can't quickly bust in and get at you, you're going to be alright. The other thing to remember is zombies are always going to take the path of least resistance. That's why this base works. Is coming up this ramp and coming through to here, because I've got this empty hole here, is the quickest, easiest path for them to get to me. If I had built this ground level, they'd probably be all around me, you know, beating all these walls in, just because this is cobble, this is metal. Tell you what though, they don't give you a break. Old versions, it'd be done by now. But so they would just beat through this wood because it's the easiest block for them to break through and get to me. If you've got a Zit demo or something happens and you lose your ramp down there, well, what they're going to end up doing is they're just going to come down here and start beating on these foundations until they knock your base down and can get at you. But that's basically the thinking for the AI, is they're just going to pick the path of least resistance. That's another reason I really like this base design. You know, I haven't done hours and hours of research into, you know, figuring out their pathing and all that. I don't know that much about it. But I do know this way, there is one door, there is one walkway, you know, there is one way they're going to get to me. As long as I protect my path up to me, I can pretty reasonably predict how they're going to move. Well, this is going well. I don't think I haven't used a gun yet. We're at 2:30. It's probably winding down. Like I said before, on the first Horde night, the alpha versions, it seemed like there was a maximum number of waves. So you were usually, if you killed them relatively quickly, like, and we're not doing bad, you'd usually be done by midnight, 1 o'clock. But they're still coming. Could be that I've got some down there, and because there's still 1 or 2 alive down there, it's preventing that next wave from spawning. But I don't hear anybody down there. Yeah, at least not banging on stuff. We'll kill. They're still coming. They're still coming, but I don't see anybody banging around on there. So, see how many more waves we get. So basically what you set it at, like I've got mine set at 16, so 16 zombies spawn with each wave. I believe when you kill the last one, the next wave comes in. That might not be exactly true. It might just go down to when you're down to 3 in that wave. See, you can hear them. Somebody's banging on my base right now. So we gotta go check that out as soon as we can. I think they're beating on the ramp over here. Yeah. Oh, this is unfortunate. As you can see, they can still jump up and get to me. but they've put a hole in the foundation there, or in the ramp, where it's tougher. So now they're just gonna, a lot of times, gonna get stuck there and start beating on it, and that's when things start to go wrong. Because once they no longer have a path, they're just gonna start beating on your core foundation, and then you're in trouble. And they're still coming. I just cannot get down there to it to fix it. Fortunately, they can still jump up, but this is not a good place to be. And there's ways to avoid that too. I'll show you guys for the next Horde night. I just didn't have time to do it properly. But there are ways to avoid this. These things still get to me. See. If they're still running like that toward the ramp, you know, they still sense a path to get to you. If you see them just take off and start running straight for your tower, you need to get down there and put some blocks down. Give them a new path. Try to at least get him a little temporary band-aid. Oh, there it goes. It is daytime, so we limped our way to the finish line, but we got there. Not too bad. All in all, good little Horde night. Get these mopped up. Check the handful of drops I got, and then we'll call her a day. There you go. Music has calmed down. We are clear. Let's see what we got. 2 armored up bucks. That's nice. Two spear books, which aren't helping me with this deal. Glad I didn't. I had to use a little bit of 9mm, but I'm glad we didn't end up having to use much ammunition. We didn't have to use that stupid pipe shotgun at all, which was nice. So we ended up much better off as far as shotgun shells go, and I think we ended up to the positive on 9mm too, so we ended up with a positive ammunition. What happened to my... Just drink this. What'd I do with that stupid tea? There it is. Positive on ammunition. Base stood up. You can just kind of, as you hover over them, you can see if they've done any damage. They actually barely beat on these at all. So, all in all, a really good Horde night. Good design. Worked out fine. They'll kind of get stuck here sometimes at each level of these ramps, and start beating on it, and that's what they did there. But like I said, there's ways to discourage that. We just didn't have time to do it properly. going to leave that like that because I don't think we're going to use... Oh, wow. How the heck did they do that? I'll be honest, guys. I don't even know how that happens. But that's why it's good to get this upgraded, especially with this base design. There's only one way. You've got to make sure if all you're giving them is the one path up to you, which I do not recommend and we will not do moving forward. But if that's all you got, make sure it is strong, because if you lose it, they're just going to come and start beating on all this. Anyway, good solid Horde night, guys. Got through it, survived it relatively safely. We didn't even have to use first aid, so overall, really good outcome. We will get back to, like I said, we're going to start speeding things up now, but tomorrow we'll spend our skill points, we'll do some more questing, try to get, this week we'll try to really focus on the armor, trying to figure out the armor sets and get some better armor, hopefully get a better tier bat, but all in all we're in pretty good shape. Maybe a double barrel shotgun instead of the stupid pipe. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think. If there's anything you want to see me work on or play with, let me know in the comments. And we'll see you for the next one. God bless.